If you are from the West and you spend a lot of time in Asia, like me, I'm from the UK but been here in Thailand for over 15 years, you start to see that it's a world of opposites. From people trying to whiten their skin here in comparison to people in the UK that might want a nice tan, or indeed from keeping nice and warm in the house in the UK. Here you're in the aircon trying to keep nice and cool. And at the risk of overgeneralizing, there are certain cultural aspects too, from the way we treat our elders in the West in comparison to the East. More community-based living as opposed to more independent thinking and lifestyles in the West. The one I'm going to be talking about today is the way the young people look after the older people, their mums and dads and grandmothers and whatnot, in quite a different way from maybe it happens in the West. Of course, this is a generalization, but it is certainly something that I've learnt living many years here in Thailand. Before we do that, as this is the family channel, I'm going to update you on what we've been up to this week, and then we'll get into the discussion of how Thai kids take care of their parents. This morning, Damo and I went to take Otis to school, and we went to a cafe with Hugo. As you can see, he's really starting to grow up. I vlogged his birth on this channel. So when Damo was giving birth, I was vlogging that particular day as well, and just see how he's grown so much. He's such a full of energy, and what I've been really surprised with Hugo is he's very different from Otis. Otis's personality is very reserved and he's very careful and he's quite quiet. Hugo is like a little explosion, like a little firework. He's always getting himself into trouble. He's always running around and doing crazy stuff. I think he's going to be like an adventurer or something. In Thailand, once you've seen one market, you've seen them all. But in particular, Damo's been trying to get me to go to this market to look at the Japanese pots and things like that. And so we went and got her some of these pots that she's been wanting. This stuff is all import from Japan. So this is what Damo comes for. This little, she calls it the Japanese section. So this is what she lives for, guys. Little pots and coffee cups and things like that, and bowls. Apparently it's all import from Japan, it's all second hand and comes from Korea as well. And in the morning when they open up, everybody just rushes in. It's like a stampede of people going in to get stuff, it's super cheap and whatnot. But Damo loves stuff like this. Markets is what rural Thailand does best. As those that have spent some time here, it's markets. Each day of the week here, there's a different market in a different location of a different size as well. You have a Saturday market, a Thursday market, a Wednesday market. Some all vary in size. Some are very small, just doing vegetables and fruits. Others are absolutely enormous in size, and a stadium of people will turn up to walk the market. Just about every day of the week, somewhere in the vicinity, we can go to a market and get anything that we might want and need. They are evolving now, I find as well, the offering of the markets are improving and widening the scope. There's more European foods available on a lot of these rural Thailand markets now. And it's just a simple, fun activity that you can do with the kids.
They put 7 o'clock in the morning and people always come first.
Come get it first. Are you bored, kid? Is it boring? Yeah, I don't like some of the stuff. It's so, how'd you put it? Delicate and unique. So we got a little dish thing. Super psychedelic plate. Japanese style plate. And then this is just something for the desk. Quite abstract. When we came home, Damo decided to take the kids out to buy some plants as well. So she's always buzzing around on the cart with the kids. It comes in very useful. You get them all on the back. It's just a nice way to travel. And she's gone to a local garden centre to buy some plants there as well. And these plants are super cheap as well, 7 baht. But it also is about getting the kids out of the house and giving them some variety in their life. It's easy, especially in Thailand, to let your kids just kind of play phone and play pad all the time. And each of the kids does have a phone. Otis and my kids don't have phones, they have iPads, because I actually don't want to introduce them to social media too young, but I also don't want them to be like iPad illiterate or technology illiterate. We want them to be out running around, playing around, being kids, getting in the sunshine, getting the vitamin D. And the good thing about rural Thailand, in fact, one of the best things I'd say about rural Thailand is that you have these kind of wide open spaces. It is clean air. You know, some people ask about the burning here, but I can tell you for the past 2 years, there's been very little burning. Maybe 1 or 2 days of the year. It's not like in the north here. And so you've got this nice clean air, which I monitor, by the way, in all of our buildings. And you've got these open spaces where the kids can just be kids. That involves just small things day to day, taking them to the noodle place together. This is obviously when they're not at school. So taking them to the noodle place together, taking them out to a cafe, taking them out to markets, taking them out to buy some plants and flowers. They've all got bikes so they can play in the garden. And if you look around the world, like, you know, is it the best childhood ever in rural Thailand? No, there's downsides, some might say. So a lot of people comment on the lack of opportunity, but I have shared the story on the channel before that my wife's sisters have all been very successful, and my wife all got degrees, all became high earners. Some of them are living in other countries in Europe, and they all grew up here just like these kids. They all went to school here, and so the opportunities are not denied to you so long as you can study like any other kid. Will some of these kids end up doing normal jobs? Probably. Do I worry about it? No. I think that they're going to look back on their childhood and think it was an amazing childhood. And each of them, I think, are going to be friends for life. That's how I imagine. I can see these children growing up, and well, I can see the way my wife grew up, and how sisters and their husbands and also their other relatives all work together for the good of the family. You know, it's very different to the Western culture of just kind of you support the children even through their adult life, and then often many of the children, you know, go on to live their individual lives, and the parents, you know, must fend for themselves, or, you know, the government fends for the parents. You know, in this culture, it is the children that will support the parents into their old age. In many ways, they have to, because there is no government support for that sort of thing. And so the children have a very strong community spirit, which they learn here from the family. Of course, there are a lot of problems that I talk about on my other channel, but how that community and family circle is so important, and how it is quite functional, where the elderly, if they're not like addicted to alcohol, or they're not like gambling, the elderly hoard the land, which then is good for the future generations. The young ones then will often go away, make money in Bangkok, send money back to the family, so you've got kind of a small income, and then the land is there when they want to retire themselves, and then the circle goes round so long as it's not being corrupted by something, gambling, or sometimes land is often split up into multiple patches, then it's sold off quick by the young ones, you know, because they're not keeping that long-term tradition of holding land within the family. They're not keeping it alive because they need, or in some cases they just want, the money quickly. They want to release the equity from the land, which actually is very detrimental to the family line. Of course, some people can't avoid it, but if one can hold a lot of land in the family, I can see how that gives a lot of breathing space and a place to be where you're not paying rent and council tax and things like that for family, and that's quite exemplified here. These children can be brought up here because there's no rent on this land. And so it's nice to promote products and services on this channel that my subscribers actually benefit from and get some use from. Surfshark VPN has been a long-term sponsor of the channel for a number of years now, but in particular, a lot of my friends and subscribers in the UK are getting a lot of use out of it. There's a lot of draconian laws coming in the UK that I think restrict people's privacy and restrict their freedom to some extent, and a VPN like Surfshark is going to help you get around these rules and regulations that are coming in. More than this though, if you're somebody that travels a lot like I do and you connect to many different Wi-Fis in different airports and hotels and cafes, Surfshark VPN has an alert system to let you know if your Wi-Fi has been compromised, so you can make sure you're safe when connecting to Wi-Fis that you've never used before. As I've mentioned before, Surfshark VPN VPN can also help you avoid price discrimination. Sometimes if you search from one location, prices can be different than if you search from a different location. That's on things like flights, accommodation, and car rentals. Use Surfshark VPN by changing your location in the top right hand corner and make sure you're getting access to the best price available on the internet. Don't forget, Surfshark VPN can be used across all of your devices, so you only have to purchase it once to use it on your iPhone, your PC, or whatever device you may be using. And Surfshark have given me an offer to give to you. It's going to get you 4 months extra. You can download the app or use code word BAMBOO at checkout, or go to www.surfshark.com/bamboo. All of those links for you are below in the pinned comment and the description. Please do let me know how you get on, and hope it works out well for you. Now, I should also mention, for those that followed the channel for a long time, Damo's dad is now, he had a stroke last night and we got him to the hospital. Now he's in Buriram in the city hospital. He's in stable condition now, and hopefully he's going to be back soon. But that is an example as well. The reason all that started was because he stopped drinking rice whiskey. So it was a mental shock, and it was the addiction really that was the problem, and then the not tapering off, which has left him incapacitated in a very bleak state. Now, if we didn't have that community and the children taking care of the elderly, God knows what had happened to him, because he can't take care of himself at all. So he would be left with Yai, and Yai would have no money, and God forbid also they had no land. It would be a dire situation. This is purely anecdotal now, what I'm going to say, but I do receive a lot of comments from people that have either they're estranged from the kids, or they have a turbulent relationship with the kids. I receive it quite a surprising amount of time, and I have, in my time living in Thailand over these past 15 years, I've met a lot of people that, a lot of individual cases where they've said they're not leaving their kids anything from their sometimes sizable estates. I have a friend, obviously I'm not going to say who it is, but he has a chain of pharmacies all around Sweden. And it's a substantial estate, and I talked to him about it. I said, he's got like 3 kids. Are you dividing up between the kids? And it's all actually going to go to his Thai wife. And that's simply because he said that she takes care of me and looks after me and basically does everything for him. And they've been together many, many years. And the kids don't care, and they don't want to know him. Now, of course, there's loads of possible reasons why that might come about. I'm not saying like it could be on his fault, it could be the kids' fault, I don't know. But it does seem there's a very strained relationship between a lot of people and the kids that I've met in Thailand that I see in the comments. And then from what I see in Thailand, particularly the cases that I'm familiar with, of course there are problems. There is dysfunction within families in Thailand. There's dysfunction within families everywhere, right? But the cases that I know quite closely, the children almost worship the mother and father. I mean, you see the Mother's Day here, and the whying the mother and the whying the father. I'm a bit biased because this is particularly intense with Damo and her mother. There's a lot of respect for the elders, and they hold them very, very high, above everything actually, like the parents. It makes sense in many ways because the parents looked after them. Damo's mother sold a buffalo in order for her to go to university, Damo's grandmother had a heart attack, and instead of paying the operation by selling land, they didn't. They held on to the land, and of course it was a terrible thing, and they could have just sold land to pay for the operation, but they didn't. That's hard for somebody to do, for a mother to do. It's a hard decision to make, and that's seeing her father, this was her father's mother, in hospital, and they could have done something by selling the land, but they didn't. And that's the kind of decision that basically a lot of people are left with in rural Thailand for a lot of different reasons. Some of their own fault for gambling, some of it is just health related, some of it's general, like it wasn't their fault and they're in a certain predicament. But my point is that the mother and father have made a lot of sacrifices for them, and so they want to appreciate and respect their mothers and fathers, I should probably finish on this. Do I expect Otis to and Hugo to take care of me? No. Actually, I plan for our future, the financial future. I also plan for their future because I think that it's going to be a different future. I think that jobs maybe not available that there were before, and that actually the idea of working in community and having land and having a house built and going energy independent is going to be more important than ever. And so no, I don't expect them. Does Damo expect them to look after her in the old age? Yes. And it's a little cause of contention between the two of us, because I just say, oh, they're going to go and do their own thing, but maybe that's my Western mentality. When she says no, she wants to make sure the kids still love mum and care about mum, and not because she's selfish or that she needs that. She's just mirroring her relationship with her mother and how important her mother is and her mother's a saint, by the way. If I could show you who Damo's mother was, like, maybe I will, maybe I'll shoot a video about who she is. She's far, far more spiritually evolved than me, and even more spiritually evolved than Damo, who I think is also more spiritually evolved than me. I mean, what does that mean? That means that I'm still subject to certain desire, and I'm still subject to ego issues, which I've been quite frank about on the channel. Damo doesn't want anything in life. She's very happy with what she's got. She doesn't think about anything really. She's just in the moment. She's very grateful, and she's very moral and ethical and very truthful. So she's quite evolved, but Damo's mother is that amplified. She's a saint. The way Thais express love, in my opinion, again, for me, I'm used to like love being expressed in like kisses and hugs and very kind of like open celebration of the other and open displays of emotion. The way I've seen a lot of Thais see it is love can be expressed as an act of service, of doing something for somebody, of giving something to somebody as well. Like I see it as that. The dynamic has been in mine and Damo's relationship as well. So we've had to learn. She's had to come to my side a little bit and me to her side to understand how do we express love and how do we interpret love. Because if you don't do that, you're going to feel a lack of love in your relationship because you don't understand how the other interprets and expresses love. In this family, I don't want to say Thais, in this family, they express love by service and by taking care of each other. Very rarely, if you were to give something, like I do the shopping sometimes for all the kids, and I get like a whole bag of vegetables or something, I take it over there and I'll leave it there, and there'll be very rarely a thank you. Sometimes there's a popcorn cap, but there's very rarely like a thank you. But you better believe that it's being clocked. They see things in this family as merit as well. Like, you do good things, of course, but that good things is also gaining you merit. Like you do good for the wider good, and in that way your soul is preserved, is the best way I can describe it. I guess in the Christian idea of sin versus, good deeds, it's a little bit measured like that as well, particularly with Damo's mother, and I think that she's probably had lifetimes of doing good deeds. And so Damo and her sisters love him, and I love her in many ways. Like I love her like a mother in many ways, and I'll take care of her, even at the criticism that I receive on this channel. And I don't see that as my responsibility, like it's heavy. Some people will often comment, "Oh, I don't want the responsibility of the family." You can pick and choose if you want it or you don't want it, but it's not a responsibility. And the amount of money that we're talking is really insignificant. And what I get back is far more important to me. In fact, I feel like I'm at a net positive. And so, yeah, I'll take care of her into her old age, and that's my thought on it. That's just where I am with it, guys. But I don't expect my kids to do the same for me. What do you want to do? There's a chocolate muffin in there. Chocolate muffin. Get it for you now. Right. See you later, guys. That was my rant. That was my extended rant. So we've got the vlog, and then you've got the extended edition. So for anybody that stayed around, thanks, and hope you're well.